right? Which was equal to 2 FC for the conventional AM, right? So here what will happen? Your bandwidth for the FM signal will be much higher than the bandwidth for the AM signal. Okay, so frequency modulation provides us advantages of the less immunity to noise, but it will require more bandwidth than the AM modulated signal. Okay, so this is the basics. Now let's see that how we can actually get these components. Okay, so there is some complex mathematics. Okay, let me just take you briefly through that. Okay, to understand the concept, inshallah things will be more clear. Okay, and we know that, okay, let's assume our message signal is a sinusoidal signal, so the modulated signal can be represented using this one, right? A is equal sine of this one, beta sine of this one. We learned this expression last time, right? So we also know that we can also express this signal as a real of this one, right? Either identity, e to power j theta is the sine of theta plus j sine of theta. So if we take the real of this one, so we will get only this one. So if you just take, this is your complete theta, okay, j theta 2 pi fct plus beta sine of, so I can write this one in this one in the exponential signal. Okay, and we know that here that this signal is also periodic and this signal is also periodic, both are periodic, right? So basically this is your input modulated signal. So we want to learn that what are the frequency components. Okay, so let's take the Fourier series of this one. Okay, so how we calculate the Fourier series? Do you guys remember? For the Fourier series, for example, if this is u of t, then the Fourier series will be equal to minus infinity to infinity Fourier series coefficient multiplied by e to power j n omega naught t, okay, or 2 pi f naught or fct, right, j n omega naught t. This is the basic definition for the Fourier series. So if you want to calculate the Fourier series for this one, first we have to calculate the Cn. And what was the definition of the Cn? 1 over time period minus t over 2 u of t, okay, e to power minus j n omega naught t 2 pi f naught t into dt, right? This is the criteria to calculate the Cn, the Fourier series coefficient component. So what is happening here? Okay, so we will, what is our signal here? Okay, this is your complete signal u of t. Okay, so we will replace this thing here, and what is the time period? 1 over t. Okay, so fm is equal to 1 over t, right, time period. So I can replace this thing with the fm. Okay, so basically I have to integrate this thing. So if we integrate and we do some more simplification of this thing, okay, so I just put u of t here, and this is just that my j and omega naught t component. Okay, so basically this is, I know this is message signal is just a constant periodic, right? So this is a constant signal. Message signal frequency is not changing, right? 5 kilohertz, for example, message signal. Okay, angle modulation, what is happening? Frequency of the carrier is changing. Okay, so we want to calculate the Fourier coefficient of this component, okay, which will be actually changing with respect to my message signal. So I put just that signal here, and if you do some more simplification, if you put u is equal to 2 pi fm of t here, so we can simplify this expression to this one. So this is basically a Bessel function. Okay, this integration, we are not going to solve this integration because this is a complex. Okay, so this is basically just a Bessel function form. Okay, this integration, so we can write Cn as the Bessel function form. So beta is just your modulation index. Okay, so basically in your Fourier series, okay, Cn here, so we will put the Bessel function, this complete integration. Okay, so I can write the Fourier series expression for this component as Jn Bessel function multiplied with the e to power Jn 2 pi fm of t, right? And if you want to calculate the Fourier series component for the, so this is just for this part. Okay, and this is just a constant component, right? Okay, now what will happen? Finally, we can write, if we just replace this component, which is Fourier series, okay, in this formula. In this formula, I just replace this component with its Fourier series, so I can get this expression. Okay, so basically what is happening here, we are having a constant values, and this is the cosine. Okay, if I just change this from the exponential to the cosine form, so basically this is e to power j. Okay, you have 2 pi, okay, fc plus n fm of t, right? Okay, so this is just your theta. Okay, so in the cosine form I can write just cosine of that. Okay, so this is the actually the actual your modulated signal. And if you want to calculate the frequency component, then what will we do? We will take the Fourier transform. So if I take the Fourier transform of this one, okay, these are just a constant components, right? So I will have just AC over 2 summation of j and beta, right? And what is the Fourier series of the cosine? We know it will be impulse. So f minus fc minus nf, sorry, one impulse, and the other impulse will be f plus fc plus nf. Okay, where n is changing from minus infinity to infinity. So this is the Fourier transform of our actual modulated signal. So what we can learn from this here? So in actual modulated signal, angle modulated signal, okay, you are having the infinite impulses. Okay, so basically actual angle modulated signal is very wide band, but because you have infinite, because n is changing from minus infinity to infinity, so it means, for example, this is the impulse at 0, you have another impulse at like fc plus nf, first one, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's ranging. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's ranging from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so we have infinite impulse components, frequency components, and the other thing is its frequency component values. The values of these impulses are depending on these two things, right? Bessel function value. Okay, so we will not have the constant values of the impulse. The impulse values will be changing according to the Bessel function values. Okay, so for example, I could have fc here. Okay, second component could be lower, the other component could be high, could be lower, could be this one. Okay, so like this one. Okay, we will see how, because these values will be depending on the Bessel function. Okay, whatever integration component I am getting. Okay, so we will have the infinite component. So that's why it's called wideband. The angle modulated signal are basically a wideband modulated signal. So if we can limit the wideband modulated signal based on the modulation index, we can trunk them, but still it will have the high frequency components as compared to the AM modulated signal. Okay, so this is just a plot for the Bessel function values. Okay, so for example, if you want to plot this function, if you want to plot that integration component, okay, this one, this integration component here, if we solve this integration component, okay, for the different values of the beta and for the different values of the n, okay, and if we plot this one, we will get these different kind of plots. Okay, so like when n is 0, so this is the graph. When n is 1, okay, so basically this is beta. Okay, so as the modulation index is changing, okay, so for the different values of the n, you will getting the different Bessel function components. Okay, now for example, if we select 1 beta is equal to 5, okay, so we will have the different magnitudes of the Bessel functions for that. Okay, so for example, beta is equal to 5. Okay, so for let's say so we will have let's say, for example, we have the 5 impulse components. So those 5 impulse components magnitude will be now given by these values. Okay, so you can see that these values are changing from positive to negative. Okay, so for example, one component could be this one. Okay, the other component could be lower value, the third component could be negative value, the fourth component could be more negative value, the fifth component could be more negative value. Okay, so the impulse magnitudes we can determine from the magnitudes of the Bessel function, okay, for the different modulation indexes. Okay, so this is the actually table. You don't have to look into the the graphs every time. So this is the table. So for example, if the modulation index is 0.1, so we will have the three Bessel function values, okay, and these are the magnitude values for that. Okay, and if for example the modulation index is 0.2, okay, so these will be the different Bessel function magnitude values. Okay, so n is equal to 0. For example, if n is equal to 0, so that will be referring to your carrier case, right? So in this case, for example, if I want to plot this one, so the carrier magnitude will be 0.997. Okay, so the next one fc plus fn, that value will be 0.050, and the next one fc plus 2fm, this will be 0.001, and similarly we'll go to the negative spectrum. Okay, and now for example beta is 1, so the dash values, these are reflecting the negative values. Okay, so for example this is 0. Okay, so here we will having the negative values. Okay, now for example if we want to plot the spectrum for this one, so the carrier is, for example, here we are having I'm sorry, this is not the negative, the dash negative is represented here. Okay, so let me plot this one. Okay, now for this case, so the carrier is, for example, we are having minus 0.078, so this component is fc plus fm. Okay, so this will be again negative component but with the higher magnitude 0.328. Then I have a very small component here, fc plus 2fm. Then here high component fc plus 3fm. Then more higher component fc plus 4fm. Okay, 0.261, more less component fc plus 5fm. Okay, 0.131, more lesser component fc plus 6fm. Okay, and similarly negative spectrum. So this is basically the spectrum of the FM modulated signal when beta is 5. Okay, just for up till 6 Bessel function values. Okay, and the difference between them, it will be governed by the message. Okay, so we learned that earlier on, the spectrum we have the impulse with f minus fc minus nfm. Okay, so whatever fm we are having, it will be changing according to that. So difference between them is the fm. Okay, so from the Bessel function table we can actually plot the spectrum. Okay, so this is the one example which I will solve during the live session. Okay, and the concept will be more clearer once we solve this example. Okay, and with that I will discuss one very important thing, and I will discuss that thing after solving this example, because once we solve this example, then the concept about so basically we can define the effective bandwidth of modulated signal using this formula. Okay, if you guys remember in the previous chapter, we also discussed this formula, that the amplitude modulation is the bandwidth is 2 FM, okay, or 2W, and for the phase and AM modulated signal, it was the 2 times of the beta plus 1 into FM. Beta was the modulation index. Okay, so this is a typical formula for the calculation of the bandwidth, that what should be the bandwidth of your FM or AM modulated signal. Okay, for example, if let's assume if our beta is 5 and my FM signal is, let's say I am having 10 kilohertz. Okay, then my bandwidth for that one will be equal to 5 plus 1 into 10 or 2 into 6 into 10 or 120 kilohertz. Okay, so the bandwidth for the FM modulated signal will be 120 kilohertz. So at the same time, if we calculate the AM bandwidth, so that will be equal to 2 times of 10, just 20 kilohertz. So you can see that this is much higher bandwidth. Okay, so these are just expression for the effective bandwidth, the bandwidth calculation of the AM modulated signal. Okay, so we can also express them in this just like we just replace the beta. In the PM case, we know the beta is just 1 kp over A, right? Okay, kp into m of t, maximum amplitude of m of t. If my message signal is this one, what is the amplitude of message signal? A. So I can replace kp into A, and in the FM case, okay, I know that beta is what? Beta was what in FM case? Okay. Can you guys remember that? What was the beta in FM case? Kf, okay, divided by the FM, maximum amplitude of the message signal. So Kf of FM. So if we replace this one, so we will get this expression. Okay, so these are just the expression for the bandwidth for the PM and the FM cases. Okay, so we will discuss this thing more. Okay, these are the general expressions, right, which we have derived earlier, just the beta, okay, which we just used here. Okay, and we're using this one, we can derive this expression. So I will also overview this thing during the live session also, after solving this example. This example is very important. Okay, so that is the end of this part of the lecture. Thank you very much for your time, and see you during the live session for this case. Okay, thank you very much.